I know you went to Lenana. Is that where you picked up golf?
Yeah, I think Lena, I think I was a caddy, you know.
Ah.
Yeah, and as we are humble, we don't talk like some people who say I went to Alliance all the time and causing us sleepless nights. We just keep quiet, Lena people. But yeah, well, not really. I saw it, but it was a
Mm.
bit rough. But I mean, that came much later. I mean, 2006, which again was an accident. Sometimes I find my life as a series of accidents, but good accidents, you know. Yeah, so I can't say I woke up one day and decided this is my strategy. I just thought, okay, try this thing. I had an uncle and aunt who were playing, got some old golf clubs, and then I decided to try join Limuru Country Club, which is one of the best golf courses in the country, if not the region. And then it just took a life of its own. And today it's a major part of what I have become. Yeah. So it wasn't a
Wow.
plan. It was just another of those what I call God accidents. Mm,
Mm.
mm.
One of our guests, and I mentioned earlier, we have several forums. One of them is CFO Breakfast. We have one coming up next month. The last guest that we had spoke about, and he used an analogy of golfing. He spoke about, how to stay focused. Basically, just keep your head down and ensure you follow through. And that's something that he learned, on the course that he applies in life. A way of just ensuring that uh, whatever shots you take actually get to where you want, to go. And then the other thing that he mentioned is you miss all the shots that you don't take. So for you, what are some of those lessons, life lessons that you picked up from the sport?
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Number one, I call golf like an abusive relationship. You know, most of my games don't go as I would want them to. They are frustrating, but I keep on calling it. It's like an abusive relationship. I keep on going back, and then it beats me and beats me, and I keep on going back. I don't know. Yeah, but it's like a relationship I don't want to leave. You know, I just want to stay there. Gosh, there are many lessons, but just maybe one or two. Number one, it's always more important how your overall score is almost heavily influenced more by how you finished than by how you started the round. And isn't that a good life lesson that, how we start, where we start, where we are born, our upbringing, like I spoke about mine, I didn't choose it, but I'm in control of how I can finish, Yeah. So aim at finishing well, whatever that looks to you. Another lesson is at times you hit a ball, it was an ugly shot, but you hit a tree and it comes back to the middle of the fairway, and you're in a good position to continue. At times you hit a really good shot, hit something and goes out of bounds. So in golf, we have a quote that says you can get a good break from a bad shot, but you can get also a bad break from a good shot. And again, that is life. Some of us call it luck, others call it misfortune when things don't go in your way. So again, that is a lesson that you can draw a parallel from life. And then the third one is the most important shot is the one right in front of you, the one you're about to take. So I used to have a coach once and used to say, forget about that the previous hole you've played it badly. Focus on the shot ahead of you. And then I apply that to life and imagine if I'm to put my head down, as you say, Jim, onto the next thing. Like tomorrow morning, I have a, a training program I'm running that I'm doing in the morning. So after this call, that is the next shot ahead of me. I should make sure I go and give it my all. Saturday, whatever comes over the weekend, I do it. The following day, the same. But many times we perform, let me use the word mediocre, because we try and multitask. And many of us, let me speak for myself, are poor at multitasking. So again, the best shot is the one right in front of you. So focus on that one. And if you do it well, chances are the next one and the subsequent shots will be equally better. Maybe those are the three or so parallels I can pick from the best game ever invented, as I say. I'm biased.
Yeah, I'm sure people will beg to differ.
Yeah, yeah,
Aim at finishing well. You can get good breaks from bad shots. And the most important
yeah.
shot is the next one. The one in front of you.
Yes,
No,
the
not
one
the
you're about to
last
take.
one. Yeah, the one you're about to
No.
take.
Mm, mm.
I think one thing I'm also learning about it is that consistency is very, very important as well. If you don't practice, then chances are you won't
Absolutely.
improve.
Yeah, and that's across the board on anything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and you've been so consistent when it comes to writing. No writer's block whatsoever. Or maybe today we ask that question. Is that something you struggle with, writer's block?
You know, I think 7 years ago, almost eight now, when I started writing and formed this blog, I went to a writing class. I assume we all know Biko Zulu, the great. He's one of the best writers we have in this corner of Africa. He has a master writing class, and I went to his class because I wanted to be a good writer. Like when you do something, do it the best way you can. And I remember he's one of the guest speakers he had then was Oyunga Pala. Oyunga Pala used to write a column called Man Talk many years ago. I don't know how many of us here have come across it. And he's actually the one who mentored Biko Zulu to become the writer that he is. And of course, that question came up to those of us who were in the class. And I remember Oyunga saying, for as long as you remain observant in life, life will give you more stories than you can ever write off. You will not finish. And so you are as good a writer as you are an observer of life. I mean, this picture alone someone can almost write 2 or 3 articles out of it. There's someone else can like, oh, there's nothing to say. Lions, construction at the back. I mean, okay, thank you, but that's about it. So writer's block, is it there? In a sense, yes, because there are times I would hang, and then I did a big commitment that I'll write every Friday, you know? So every Friday you have to have churned out a story and not just rubbish. I mean, give it your best shot. So for me, as I go through life, I try as much as possible to see lessons from interaction. This webinar, for example, I can see, I mean, what is there a deeper lesson from it that I could share to encourage someone and help them grow in their journey? Then that becomes a story. But you have to have your inner eyes and ears open to be able to see those extra stories below the surface and write about them. So more of the story, life alone has enough stories to write about. And that would probably is what has helped me be able not to, or to manage the block. Not that it's not there, but to manage it from paralyzing me from not writing at all. Yeah, so be observant.
Thank you, thank you. That's powerful. And I didn't know Oyunga mentored Biko.
Yes,
They're
he
both
did.
very, very good
Mm,
writers,
mm,
writers
mm.
by excellence.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Why did you start to write? I know you mentioned confusion moving in your engaged talk,
Mm,
and writing as one of the avenues used to sort of
mm.
get clarity. But perhaps you can just share more why you started writing and why you still write.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I turned 40, it was a very confusing time, really. It was, and I see why it's called midlife crisis. Yeah. Although I prefer to call it a midlife awakening. And I had this internal hurricane, just wondering, why am I here? Would I have done better with my life? What does my future hold? Now I feel like I can get a terminal disease and die. It was a crazy, crazy time. I mean, I felt nobody around me can understand what I'm going through, Yeah. So after a year or two into my 40s, I'm like, hey, I need an outlet. So actually, it was actually an outlet. I can't tell you when the light bulb moment came of that outlet being writing. Because previous to this, I wasn't really a writer. No, I wasn't. But I just felt I just want to start sharing my mind on a platform. And it was for myself. Again, another lesson from Biko's class that when you're playing a flute, play the music for yourself. And as you continue playing, your tribe will join you. Some will relate with what your music and like it and follow you. Others will not, and that's okay. So I just began just putting some random thoughts on a WordPress blog that I formed through the help of someone who helped me, an IT guy. And I said, okay, I'll write then every Friday and just put these random thoughts down. So there wasn't like a strategy. I'll write for 5 years or until I turn 50 or whatever. I'll just speak about the struggles of the human spirit, which is mine, and we see how that goes. So over time, it has grown to have several hundred readers, I would imagine, every Friday, and people who relate to it. So of course, like anything else, as you practice and consistency, you become better at it. Yeah. So it's become part of me, really. It's really has become part of me. So that's why I started writing. It was just for my own catharsis. But in the process, I've really, really grown to love it. Yeah. In fact, one of my subscribers is a publisher, and she's been harassing me to do a book. So maybe it might be in the works sometime. Yeah.